Hello. Today's victim is about when people call you the victim of narcissistic abuse, abusive. Many people who have survived narcissistic abuse experience the same thing. After months, years, or even a lifetime, they realize they can't take the abuse anymore. They then escape the narcissist, but are met with further abuse from other people instead of love, concern, and support. That abuse frequently consists of victims being told that they're oversensitive, they need to forgive, they aren't being so-called good Christians, they shouldn't go no contact because the narcissist is family, and other similar nonsense. Probably the worst of comments many victims hear, though, is when people tell the victim that they are the abusive one. I think one of the most painful things any victim of any sort of abuse can hear is that they are acting like someone who caused them unimaginable pain and suffering. It's cruel and also makes victims have doubts about their behavior. Following is some food for thought for narcissistic abuse victims as well as for anyone who may have said these things. When a victim escapes their narcissist and refuses to have any further contact, that doesn't make a victim immature, unforgiving, or pouting like a spoiled little child. It also doesn't mean that the victim is being passive-aggressive by giving their abuser the silent treatment. It means the victim is protecting him or herself from further abuse, not being abusive towards anyone. When a victim finally tells others about what the narcissist did, this also isn't abusive. This is someone speaking the truth about unthinkable suffering they have endured. This person's looking for support, to work through their pain, to warn others who know the abuser, and even to help raise awareness of narcissistic abuse. There's no reason to call this kind of behavior abusive because it isn't. When people tell the victim how they should return to the relationship, anyone should refuse to engage with people like this because clearly they're toxic. Refusing to resume a toxic relationship is not abusive. What is abusive is when people tell other people they should return to an abusive relationship and shame them for not wanting to tolerate the abuse. I admit this is a particularly sensitive topic with me. When I broke my engagement to my now ex-husband, several people told me I should get back together with him because he was just so miserable without me. After going into contact with my parents, people said I needed to fix things with them as if I was the only one who could repair that relationship. In both situations, not one person asked why I severed ties with these people, and they encouraged me to return to relationships that were obviously detrimental to me. You see how abusive that is? People who tell others to take the high road or be the bigger person are also abusive, not those who refuse to take that supposed high road. Tolerating abuse does not make you a good person. It's not good or holy. In fact, it's just foolish. People who share criticisms with victims of how victims handled the abusive relationship when the victim didn't ask for their thoughts are also being abusive. This victim is not being abusive for not handling the abuser the way the other person thinks they should have. The victim is also not being abusive because he or she tells the person they didn't ask for their opinion. People who move on and enjoy their life after surviving narcissistic abuse aren't deserving of shame, nor are they narcissists. To shame them or call them narcissistic for finally having the ability to enjoy their lives is abusive, however. If you're faced with people who call you abusive, or they abuse you for ending an abusive relationship, clearly they have problems. Always remember you are not being abusive in any way for protecting yourself from them or your abuser. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Thank you for watching my video.